Good morning, everyone. Welcome in or welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Zuri, and I will be doing a grocery shop video where we stay under a $50 budget or around $50, depending on what it is that we're meal prepping and what we're buying today. So I'm gonna take you along with me again today for our grocery shop trip. So buckle in and let's go. All right, we are back with the grocery haul, and I'm gonna show you what I got. The meals this week are peanut chicken with zucchini and rice, and we're making a roasted red pepper pasta with peppers, garlic, and spinach. Here is everything I got. I got the spinach, the chicken. I bought chips to go with my lunch. I did also get the garlic and the onion powder. I needed that as well. I bought reusable bags for the chips because I didn't have any. The zucchini, the peanut sauce from Whole Foods. This is the non-dairy Greek yogurt that goes into the creamy pasta sauce. And then the non-dairy Parmesan cheese. I needed eggs and strawberries for my breakfast, the peppers, grapes, and of course the Red Thunder for my runs. I bought 2 today, so we are 56 cents over budget, but the goal is to actually stay $300 for the monthly grocery budget. So what is happening weekly is okay if we're a little bit over the $50, because ultimately, as the weeks progress, we generally want to stay within $300 for the month. That is the actual goal here. Okay, so I have the breakdown here on the receipt. So Aldi, the chips were $1.45, the spinach was $1.49, the pasta was 98 cents, the snack bags were $1.69, the marinara was $1.65, the pepper pack was $2.59, so the zucchini was $1.92 a pound, so it ended up being $2.78. The Red Thunder was $3.49 a box, and that's for a 4-pack. So both together was $6.98. The grapes were $2.66 a pound, and I ended up with 1 pound and 69 ounces. So that ended up being $4.46. The onion powder was $1.09. Garlic powder was $1.09. The chicken thighs were $7.38. strawberries were $2.55, and the eggs were $2.71. So my Aldi trip was $40.67. And then at Whole Foods, which is usually where I go to get anything non-dairy, Aldi's also didn't have the sauce that I needed for my chicken, so I went there to get the sauce. So the peanut sauce was $3.19. The non-dairy yogurt was $2.69, and the non-dairy Parmesan shreds were $3.79, for my grand total being $9.89. So this week's grocery shop budget was $50.54. So we are still relatively within budget. We're not quite under $50, but for this week, that is still pretty good. I will be back a little bit later to show you the meal prepping portion of that, and then I will give you a cost breakdown of what each meal shakes out to. Because I'm going to be getting 6 meals out of the pasta and 5 meals out of the chicken. All right, everyone, it is later, much later in the day. It is time to start meal prepping, and to be honest, don't really want to do it. It would be much easier to just order some food, get something quick to eat, but we have to meal prep for the week. Luckily, the meals are easy. We are doing a peanut curry chicken with rice and zucchini, and we're doing a red pepper or a pepper pasta with a creamy red sauce. I've had a really long day, so we're gonna do this quick, or as quickly as we can. That's just the nature of how meal prepping goes. Some days you just don't want to fucking do it. I mean, it takes a lot out of you. Sometimes you've had a really long day, and it is what it is. But let's go. We're gonna do it. So let's go. So I had school today, and I'm in school for business finance, and I go part-time. I just go for one class at a time because I work full-time too. So that's how I split my time up. I'm pretty much doing something every day of the week. And then I went on a run as well. But I'm not doing a good job at my runs, to be honest. I'm kind of like experiencing runner's burnout right now. So my runs are kind of looking sad, a little sad right now. So we're powering through that because ultimately I want to run a marathon. That's one of my goals, is to run a 5K for charity. But it's looking a little sad at the moment, so that might be put on pause for now, but we will see how that goes as the months progress. It is still early. The 5K isn't scheduled until November, so I have some time to get back on the horse for that one. So I just need like a week or two off, and then I'll be right as rain for my training program. And maybe if I just drop down to 3 days instead of 4 days, I think that'll be a good compromise as well. My partner's birthday is coming up at the end of the week, so that's very exciting. So I stopped at the store to get a birthday present. I'm really excited to give it to him. I think he's really gonna like it. It was really fun to check out the shop, see what they had. They had a lot of really good things to choose from, so I'm excited for his birthday. Just going over, and we're gonna spend some time together and cook together and maybe watch a movie. So that's gonna be really exciting. I get paid tomorrow, so I will be doing a paycheck breakdown video as well. So stay tuned for that, and I will be going over what I spent this month and going over my categories. I had a lot of debt. I was maybe 21, 22, 23, and I had accumulated a lot of consumer debt, as well as owing like AT&T or Verizon, like the cell phone company, because I had financed my phone and the internet, and I defaulted on a lot of my bills. So a lot of my bills ended up in collections, and they were in collections for a couple of years because I didn't know how to pay them off. I didn't know how to pay them down. I didn't know where to start. I thought if I just like put my head in the sand and just not look at them, that they would just go away. And I had a really low credit score because of that. So one day I just decided that like I wanted to get my shit together, and I wanted to pay that off, and I wanted to get my credit right, and I wanted to fix my situation. So I contacted the collections, and I asked them, you know, like payment plan options, if they would take just like a lump sum to just consider the debt settled, and what options I had. And I ended up going with payment plan options for some of my debts, for a lot of my debts actually. And I slowly but surely paid off those debts. I paid off AT&T, I paid down my credit card, I got those numbers down to 0, and I got those collections cleared. And then that's how I started my debt-free journey. And then I started tackling my student loans. I had very low student loans. I wasn't in school the first time around for very long. I was in for a semester. And the school that I was attending at the time, I didn't know it, but it eventually turned out to be a scam school. So they were giving false promises to their students. So there was like a lawsuit that got filed, and there was like an application to get your student loans forgiven through that program back in 2020. So I didn't think anything of it because I was only there for a semester, but I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna fill out that application, and I'm gonna see what happens. So I filled out the application, and of course I didn't hear anything back from them for months, almost a year. And of course all the student loans were in forbearance at the time. as well, and so we weren't expected to make any payments on the student loans. So I wasn't paying my student loans either. I was just kind of waiting to hear back about this application. And then I heard back about the application and it was approved. And so they said my student loans were going to be forgiven. And so I waited and waited and waited for more information about the forgiveness of my student loans. And so they kept saying, like, don't make any payments. Your student loans are being forgiven through this program because the school is making false promises. So I kept waiting, and months were going by at this point, and I'm checking on my student loans and just waiting for that number to hit zero, and then eventually it did. So my student loans got forgiven through that program because the school was scamming its students. So I became student loan free, and then I became officially debt free because I no longer had any consumer debt and I didn't have any more student loans. So I decided to go to community college. So I applied for the FAFSA, and because of my income level, my first class was covered, and this class is covered for the most part, but I got a scholarship that was offered by the school as well, so this class is covered through that as well. So for my next class, I will have to do the FAFSA again and see if that class is covered, but community college is a relatively affordable option for school because my hope this time around is to do school as debt-free as possible, so that I can pursue an associate's degree without taking out any student loans. And we will see how that journey goes, and I'll obviously keep you updated on that. So far so good. I haven't paid anything for my class, and I was able to find my textbook for free online, so I haven't paid for my textbook. And I'm actually doing pretty well in the class so far. I am a 4.0 student as it stands right now, and I'm working really hard to maintain that status so that I can apply for scholarships as well, because I would like to be a financial advisor at the end of my schooling journey. So yeah, that's just now my new mindset and approach to college. Trying to do it debt-free, trying to stay debt-free. I'm trying to stay within a budget. I'm trying to save as much money. I'm trying to invest in my 401k and my Roth IRA as much as possible, and trying to build that wealth and trying to build that knowledge. And yeah, so far it's been working really well. This bowl is so full. for the rice to finish cooking and the pasta water to boil. Then we're gonna make that. Cooking in my kitchen takes a little bit longer than normal. I have a relatively small kitchen, so I have a relatively small stove. So I have to make one meal at a time. I can't make both of my meal prep meals at the same time. I can prep them at the same time, I just can't make them at the same time. So we're just finishing up a couple of things here, and then we're gonna be moving on. And I'm almost done. I'd say I'm about like a quarter of the way done with my cooking. So yeah. So meal prepping is done. I have 6 pasta meals and 5 chicken meals. So for the pasta, to make that non-dairy, for 6 meals, that boils down to about $1.98 per meal. And for the chicken, it boils down to about $2.93 per meal. So that is kind of the breakdown for the meals for a $50 budget for this week for a pasta meal and a chicken peanut Thai meal. So that is the video for today. If you like this content and you like to see more of it, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Stay tuned for my budget breakdown video that is coming next, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!